Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Xavier, Heat Wrestling's favorite hothead.
And I'm the man with no gimmick, the James Conti.
And you are listening to
Double Turn Radio.
I want to welcome everyone to a very, very special segment of the King's Court. We're going to treat this segment with the proper reverence and respect that it deserves.
Yo, all hail, I'm hoping the skills carry me past the goal line. I'm tossing this Hail Mary, got engaged to lettuce. So as soon as the mail married me, I was groomed to deliver the real and kill parodies. Body old beats, A-track at the anatomy, assault and battery, cause I ain't rapping for the flattery. What you hear happening is what it's supposed to sound like. Off with they heads, they wasn't wearing the crown right. Lay it down profound whenever I get around mics. Went from being hungry to eating off of the sound bites. Bro, I had mojo. Way before I found hype, I was letting flows go. Double R Ocho, the artist formerly known as Rated, the former dated. Took the AT out my name, cause if I'm on it, then I ate it. No matter how you spell it, word is born about to make it by doing my own thing. Not conforming to the basic, and it started as a hunch. Now it's jumping for the kid. Got tired of the hunger, it was nothing in the fridge. Now the balls come in bunches, and I'm functioning to live like a young Jerry Lawler, best punches in the biz. Yo, all hail, you entered the King's courtyard. Built off of limited support, but I fought hard. Went from being mortal to a thought guard. The moral of the story is you can't predict the future off report cards. Trying to point on my intelligence less. Maybe if I started telling them less, they'd acknowledge it. Higher education achieved without their colleges. Made myself a scholar, but I never chased a scholarship. Paved my own path, won't recommend you follow it. Decided I was never compromising, just a dollar grip. On the rise, taking off, Andre Eagle Dollar quick. Steady dropping hits without the politics.
Hey, welcome back to Double Turn Radio, everybody. My name is Xavier, Heat Wrestling's favorite hothead, and next to me is my beautiful and lovely co-host,
The man with no gimmick, the James Conti, as per usual.
and you are listening to Smack Me Raw, the week of February 5th, 2018. We are rolling on our way to WrestleMania, and we are also rolling on our way to video podcast, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. We are working on getting you guys video podcasts from the comfort of my own bedroom. That's going to be coming by the time WrestleMania comes for sure, guaranteed. We want to thank everybody for listening. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Instagram. If you haven't already, Facebook, we are Double Turn Radio. Twitter, we are Double Turn Radio with the last O as a 0. On Instagram, we are Double Turn Radio Podcast. SoundCloud, the same thing, and YouTube as well.
Yep.
We got some videos up on the YouTube. It's going to be audio only.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
For now.
Yeah.
A couple things we want to get out of the way. We are recording this on Friday, February 9th. We are recording this just hours before we're about to go to Warriors of Wrestling show. If this is out in enough time.
Which it will be.
The Frankie Getz Joseph Pizarro Memorial Show is tonight at 8 o'clock. Doors open at 7.
Fun Station
USA, 3555 Victory Boulevard here in Staten Island. $20 at the door, no front row fee. It's just flat 20. All the proceeds go to the Pizarro family.
Yep.
And with that being said, we hope to see a few of you guys there.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, February 10th, we've got 2 big Warriors shows that on in Brooklyn.
Yep. The first one is going to be Women of Warriors 4. That is going to be at St. Finbar's Catholic Church in 1839 Bath Avenue in Brooklyn, the second home of Warriors of Wrestling. If you've been a Warriors of Wrestling fan, you know that they wrestle out of Fun Station mostly, but at St. Finbar's, they definitely go there quite often, and you see them quite a lot.
Finbar's is becoming a big venue out in Brooklyn.
Yep.
Evolve 100 was just there.
Yep. Tier 1 when we went, they're always at St. Finbar's as well. Warriors has had several shows there so far.
Regardless, gonna be a big night. Not only for the men at the I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the show.
Cold Fury.
It's Cold Fury.
Yeah, but the women.
But the women go on at 4 o'clock. I believe 4 o'clock, or is it 3?
Yep, 4 o'clock is going to be the bell time. 3 o'clock, the doors open. General admission is $15. The front row is going to be $20. At this show, you've got the WOW Women's Title match between champ Nikki Adams and former NWA Women's Champion Casey Carlisle. Oh my God, how long has it been since I've seen her? Plus, you got a clash of the Titans and Nyla Rose and Jessica Havoc. That should be a big match, no pun intended. You also got the tag team challenge between Team Sea Stars and the Twisted Sisters. Always nice to see the Twisted Sisters in the ring. Allie Rex and Tasha Steelz are going to face each other. Not America's Sweetheart Davey N versus Gemma Cross. And you got Sea Bunny and Willow Nightingale versus Thumper Robinson and Vanity. Like I said, doors open at 3. Bell time is at 4. Front row $20. General admission is $15. And both of those are still available. And later on that night, James, why don't you go and talk about Cold Fury?
Absolutely. So Cold Fury is going to be later on that night. That is going to be normal Warriors Wrestling time. 7 o'clock, the doors will open for that show. And at 8 o'clock is bell time. Tickets are still available. Front row is $25. General admission is $20. So make sure you get your tickets in advance, especially at Finbar's. Like I said, they've been packing that house for quite some time. Every event that's gone there has almost sold out.
Yep, and or if not, has sold out, standing room only too.
Yep, standing room only. On that, you've got a whole host of competitors from Darius Carter to the Man of Steel, Mike Verna.
I got an inside scoop on some of those matches if you want me to go and run some down for you.
Yeah, go right ahead.
You got a fatal four-way between Jay George, Chris Steeler, Jason Karloff, and Mike Verna for the number 1 contendership to Juba's World Heavyweight Championship match. You also got Juba's World Heavyweight Championship. Speaking of Juba, you also have him in a World Heavyweight Championship match against the colossal Mike Law, who cashed in his 2017 King of New York tournament guaranteed title. And then you've got tag team action between the champs Logan Black and Chris Benet. They're definitely gonna be having a match as well. You've got Isaiah Wolf versus Tony Booz for the No Limits title. You're also going to have Scotty Priest and Jose Salvador. You're going to have Nikki Adams. You're going to have the Twisted Sisters. And also, you're going to have the Princess, Princess of Darkness? I forgot his nickname. Man. Wow, no disrespect to Jimmy Jacobs, but Jimmy Jacobs has a nickname, and I can't forget it. But Jimmy Jacobs is going to be in the house with a former guest of Double Turn Radio, the Darius Carter. Wrestling's richest prize. So definitely go and check that out. Like James said, doors open at 7, bell time at 8, general admission 20, front row $25.
Also appearing is going to be Ron Simmons, a.k.a. Farouk. Damn is right. And also D'Lo Brown, another member of the Nation Domination. D'Lo. Okay, I didn't know if we were going to go damn, just do it again. D'Lo is going to be there also. So, 2 great guys. Make sure you get there. Get an autograph. Get a picture. Go right ahead. Again, that's St. Finbar's Catholic Church on Bath Avenue in Brooklyn, New York.
Yep. Real quick, if you want to become a professional wrestler, professional referee, if you want to work inside a professional wrestling company, Warriors of Wrestling also has their own training academy as well. You can go on the Warriors of Wrestling website and go and check that out, or message them on Facebook. They will be glad to answer you. Also, shout outs to Russell Rated R. Tyson for the intro track in the beginning and end of every freaking podcast. This time you got the King's Court. That's going to be playing in full at the end of the podcast, so definitely go and check that out. This month we're going to be having a 10 count on the Elimination Chamber, plus Nostalgia Act on Elimination Chamber 2010. We got the good, the bad, and the ugly from all of that, so definitely check that out this month. Also, real quick before we go ahead and get through the review, which is coming in just a second, if you follow us on social media, we have put up a poll asking you, the fans, to go and give us your opinion on which WrestleMania we should review for the March 10 count. Obviously, for the March Nostalgia Act, we will be giving our 10 count on WrestleMania as per usual on the 10 count, leading up to WrestleMania. So definitely go and give us your opinion. Twitter and Facebook. We got the poll up. We would like to hear from you on what you think we should do. The choices are WrestleMania 4 and WrestleMania 14. If you don't know what they got, look them up, because we ain't got time to tell you right now.
Yeah, we got a lot to get through. A lot of big stuff this week.
A lot of big stuff, a lot of annoying stuff.
A lot of clunker stuff, yeah.
Yep. So, mainly on the SmackDown side, as always.
As always.
But Raw wasn't without its faults either, so let's go and get it out. Monday Night Raw came from us at Des Moines, Iowa. The middle of buttfuck nowhere, but it's Seth Rollins' hometown, so of course he's going to get a big pop. So we go on saying how we're going to get a Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt match. We open up Raw with Bray Wyatt's face. What a great sight. What a great sight.
What a way to open up Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I actually, just to see that we're not getting a backstage segment in the terms of two people talking to each other, like face to face. We get a Bray Wyatt promo. He cut a pretty good promo talking about how last Elimination Chamber, he won the WWE title and that Roman Reigns is standing in his way. He talks about him being his nemesis, Reigns being Wyatt's nemesis, and says that he is going to put him out of his misery of losing his Intercontinental title. Then we cut to Roman Reigns, who's cutting a promo backstage as well, and he's saying that he's going to win and that he's going to go to WrestleMania and go to Suplex City. Yep, that was it. But then right after we get the match between the both of them, so that was pretty cool.
It was very good.
Yes, a very, very good. They have great chemistry with each other. It was nothing crazy. They didn't put the all out on the line, but it was a solid match that shows that this is the future of the company and that these two guys are going to be big name players. Once everything gets itself,
once the dust settles, and
once the dust settles and we start actually changing the guard, you're going to see these guys in the future very, very soon. So Roman Reigns won that match with a spear. Yeah. It was good. Like I said, it was good back and forth between the both of them. You knew who was gonna win. Yeah. But also
there's three things guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and Roman Reigns wins.
Yes,
that's for damn sure.
Yeah. So it was just good to see that Bray Wyatt was actually putting up a fight. He didn't look weak in this match.
Yeah, right. This is actually one of the first matches in a while in defeat that he's looked solid, because Bray Wyatt, I say it all the time in conversation and on the podcast, Bray Wyatt's one of those guys that just does not look good when he loses to anybody. But on this specific occasion,
Bray Wyatt
he held his own, and he looked like he could have genuinely won this match. And he got caught. You know, he didn't. But that's it. Bray Wyatt looked strong in defeat for the first time in a while, and Matt Hardy hits the ring, and he waits for Wyatt to get up, hits the twist of fate, and he leads the crowd in a delete chant.
Yep. So this is just furthering the feud between the both of them.
At the Hardy compound.
Yeah, later on we're going to tell you what match we're going to get, and that probably will. But you know what? Actually, we're going to get a Fatal 4-Way next week for a second chance. It's going to be for the last spot inside the Elimination Chamber. So it's a second chance Fatal 4-Way. And you got Finn Balor, Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, and you got Apollo Crews as well. So we're going to get to that later as well. So after this, you got Seth Rollins backstage with Jason Jordan. They're talking about their title shot later on tonight, and pretty much Rollins is making sure that Jordan doesn't do anything that screws that up. Jordan says that he's 100% and that he's already talked to Kurt and that the doctors cleared him. Jordan said that Rollins has nothing to worry about, and then they cut to Finn Balor coming out to the ring. We got Finn Balor, who was supposed to have a singles match against Scott Dawson. When the Revival go and make their entrance and they walk down to the ring, they said that they are tag team specialists, and the commentary team does a great job of promoting them as tag team specialists. So we get a tag team match between the Revival and a partner of Finn Balor's choice, who he chooses as Carl Anderson, who walked out with him, and Luke Gallows as well. So
two former leaders of the Bullet Club teaming up to go against Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, and it was such a treat.
It was actually a really good tag team match. If they ever make a trios title, which I doubt they're ever going to do, I really want Finn Balor. If Finn Balor working with the club is great. Finn Balor is he's elevating his game, or he's doing what he normally does, and they're giving him more to work with. Is what they're doing,
and he's making the club relevant again.
Yeah, he's making the club relevant again. He's putting the Revival over as strong competitors But at this point, right now, Finn Balor is not going to take a pin. We don't know why. Hopefully, it's leading up to something at WrestleMania time. But Finn Balor hasn't taken a pin in a little bit, and this is no different. Finn Balor gets the Finn Balor gets the pin on Scott Dawson after a great tag team match. Highlights of this: you just got to know that the Revival is getting promoted as tag team specialists, and it's kind of confusing because they're getting promoted as tag team specialists, but they're losing to a tag team.
Tag team, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the only
it's
thing.
Like they're losing, but they got promoted like really as like this great, wonderful tag team who should be taken very seriously, and then they lose.
Yeah,
so
I think that's. Just... I think that this would have benefited from being a singles match, because Dawson could have genuinely took that loss, but and it wouldn't have affected the team as a whole.
Yeah.
But now you've got the team just went down to Finn Balor and Carl Anderson.
Yeah. I get it. They're not gonna let Finn lose.
Right. No, of course not. But like I said, the singles match would have worked out better. But regardless, we got a great match out of it.
Yeah.
Everybody looked good in it. So
after this, we got Sasha Banks backstage watching her recent loss to Asuka on a tiny tablet. Yeah. Don't know why she's doing that on a tablet when there's dozens of TVs backstage, but that is besides the point. So Bayley walks in, and Bayley pretty much talks about Sasha's being too hard on herself, whatever. And then Sasha says, I need to start reminding everybody how I'm the boss. And she said that she knows how she can beat Asuka. And then Bayley was like, hey, can I get some advice since I'm going out there? And she's like, ha, no. Those are my secrets, and I'm going to keep them. So she was pretty much like Patrick in the secret box in SpongeBob. Wow, I'm so sorry, guys. I gave you a SpongeBob reference. So Bayley starts talking to her, saying, how it's every woman for herself. She said, I understand. It's every woman for herself, just like at the Royal Rumble and just like at Elimination Chamber. Sasha said that, she did what she had to do at Royal Rumble, which was throw Bayley out over the top rope. And then she said that she's going to go on to win the Chamber and then defeat Asuka at WrestleMania 34. That's if Kurt Angle puts her in the Chamber, because we don't know at this point who's going to be in the Chamber. Bayley said that she can beat Sasha Banks and that she can also beat Asuka. So this was kind of a good little back and forth between the both of them. I'm waiting for the matches between the both of them.
WrestleMania.
I don't know. I don't think so.
That's what the plan is. I just read
we're
that
gonna
recently.
We're gonna go ahead and give our Elimination Chamber pay-per-views on the Smack Me Raw before Elimination Chamber on the Go Home show. So you definitely go and check that out when that comes around. After this, we got a 205 live match between Tony Nese and Drew Gulak versus Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander. 205 live is great again, ladies and gentlemen. Drake Maverick, aka Rockstar Spud, was on commentary, and he was fantastic.
And Cole even acknowledged him as Rockstar Spud as well.
Yep. So it's just good to see that we're getting the 205 Live guys get actual time, get to do actually what they want to do. It's not very, very choreographed matches between each other. It's not very, very corny backstage segments and backstage and like characters out of these people. It's just them doing what they want to do, and they're focusing on the quality of the matches that they're giving each other. And this was no different. We got Cedric Alexander doing great work against Drew Gulak, and you got Mustafa Ali in there as well, just doing awesome work between these guys. A lot of flips, a lot of dives. If you're into that type of stuff, you would love this match. If you're not, then sorry, skip over this section. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about 205 Live real quick. You had two great matches on that, so definitely go and check that out. 205 Live is getting a lot better, especially in the match between Lince Dorado and Kalisto. That was a fucking barn burner between the both of them. So you got the win between you got the win of Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. Cedric Alexander hit the lumbar check on Gulak, a nasty lumbar check for the pin. After this, we get Kurt Angle and Alexa Bliss backstage talking, and we find out that the Raw General Manager, Kurt Angle, is going to be coming out to say the 5 women who are going to be in the Elimination Chamber match with the Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss, and we get announced that it's Bayley, Mandy Rose, Mickie James, Sonya Deville, and Sasha Banks. So Sasha Banks is in the match. What?
God, look at the names in that.
Okay. Bailey. Mickey
all
James.
Right. All right.
Sasha Banks.
All right.
Alexa Bliss.
Hold on.
Alexa Bliss is a good wrestler.
She's a good wrestler, but why is she... Well, we're going to get to that.
No. We're going to get to that in a second. But she's a good
regardless,
wrestler.
Sonya Deville,
Uh-huh.
Mandy Rose.
Listen. Remember Randy Orton and Ted DiBiase in the Elimination Chamber?
Don't even...
We're going to get to once you watch Nostalgia Act. Elimination Chamber 2010.
Okay, but you're comparing the son of one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Well, I wouldn't say, maybe not of all time, but one of the best wrestlers from the...
No. I'm not comparing the wrestlers. I'm comparing the situation.
Right,
exactly.
we'll get to that.
So, that's what I'm comparing it to.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm comparing the situations between the both of them. We have two people who are in absolution, who are trying to dominate the women's division. Unfortunately, we don't have Paige anymore, so it kind of is all for nothing. But
I know
you get two people who get to take the pin and work with these guys for a decent match. I personally don't think we need a women elimination chamber match. That's my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't agree with me, I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel. I don't feel that they're built for this match yet. I don't feel that that we have the right quality women for the match as of right now. I feel like everybody but Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are kind of built for this match, but also with the Royal Rumble, you gotta look. The Royal Rumble women's match was great because of nostalgia. It was great because we finally get a women's Royal Rumble match. It was great because we finally get to see the women who entertained us back in the day with their characters, aka Vicky Guerrero, aka Michelle McCool, okay, and looked great, aka Tori Wilson, Kelly, and then you got also the divas from the old days. Jacqueline, you had Molly Holly, you know what I mean? You had Trish Stratus, you had Lita. So it was a great mix of all the women of past, present, and future. But this is not one of those things. And that match, ladies and gentlemen, was not that great. I liked it. It was okay. It was what it was, and it was what I expected it to be. I did not expect great work out of every single female in there because I knew the types of females that were going to go through the Women's Royal Rumble. That being said, this is a different type of demon. The Elimination Chamber is a different type of match.
There's a lot going on in the Elimination Chamber. You've got two people starting the ring, and then every 5 minutes, and the pacing has to be on point in Elimination Chamber match, or it blows.
Yeah, because it's either a really slow Elimination Chamber, and then it really sucks, or it's a really fast-paced Elimination Chamber, and there's so much going on, and there's pin after pin after pin after pin, and you don't get a you don't get a really quality match out of it. You just get a lot going on in a little bit amount of time.
Right. And
so it's just when you got two people, specifically Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, who don't really have the experience to be thrusted into a match like that, it's kind of upsetting to know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You just take Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville out. Putting Vicky Guerrero and Molly Holly. I'll take that.
I'll take Molly Holly, and I would have took Michelle McCool.
I was just thinking Michelle McCool.
Yeah, I would have took Molly Holly and Michelle McCool. So yeah, it's gonna be, like I said, Bailey, Mandy Rose, Sasha Banks, Mickie James, and Sonya Deville. So he throws out the elephant in the room, literally and figuratively, that Nia Jax isn't in the match.
All right, Grim.
Yeah, exactly what I was gonna reference to.
All right, Grim.
So Nia Jax isn't in the Elimination Chamber match. Angle also announces that we're gonna get Nia Jax versus Asuka in singles action at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, but not in the chamber. And if Jax wins the match, she's going to be added to the match at WrestleMania 34 to make it a triple threat match. Asuka versus Jax versus the Raw Women's Champion. So, at this point, Alexa Bliss comes out and she does not look happy at all. And this was a fire promo out of her. Flame emojis galore. Because she said exactly what I said last week. She must have listened to the podcast.
Probably does.
Probably listened to the podcast.
Alexa Bliss, if you're listening, we will send you tons of merchandise.
Yes, tons of merchandise.
All you gotta do is shout us out.
All you gotta do is at least shout us out or wear a sticker somewhere. That's it.
Or wear the wristband. I'll give you a wristband.
I'll give you a wristband.
Wear the wristband in the ring.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So Alexa Bliss comes out and she starts ripping on Kurt Angle and calling him a sexist pig and saying that it's not fair that Brock Lesnar doesn't have to defend inside the Elimination Chamber, but Alexa Bliss does. And then he said, well, when the last time you defended your championship was in October at TLC. and she said that that's not her fault, that Angle is the one making the matches, and that he didn't let her defend since October at TLC.
So correct.
So he had a really, really dumb look on his face.
Not to mention when he forgot the name of the match that he was announcing earlier in the promo.
He forgot the name of that. It's the Elimination Chamber. But then Alexa Bliss says that Kurt Angle values Brock Lesnar more than her, and that he's never around, but she is. So yeah. So you want to know what Angle's defense to all this was? Hey crowd, do you want to see Alexa Bliss defend in the chamber? Yeah. Okay, well you're still in the match.
Nice, congratulations.
That was the cheapest way to keep Alexa Bliss in the match. Yeah. That was such a cop out. It wasn't even.
Why didn't he ask? Do you want Brock Lesnar to defend in the chamber?
No. This promo could have kept going on for about 6 more minutes with Alexa Bliss making great points, and I would have been okay. But instead, we got a cheap cop out from Kurt Angle, and now Alexa Bliss leaves. That's the end of the segment. We got a Twitter video from John Cena to hype his road to WrestleMania 34. Can we just stop putting the text on the screen? Can we just stop, please? Yeah, I want it Can we just stop doing it between NXT, between Smackdown, between Raw, between 205 Live? It doesn't need to happen anymore. Oh my God.
Everything else is fine. The quality of the promos and what they're doing with it is fine. It's just the wording. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The wording is just terrible. It's like annoying.
It's like every other word.
Every other word. It's like, all right, they'll put the word "the" in bold letters. I'm just like, bro, like chill out. But anyways, yeah,
it's rather annoying. Cena talks about his match between Elias and Strowman tonight for this number 6 spot in the Elimination Chamber, like who comes out last.
Which is great because we still don't know everybody that's in the match.
Yeah, that another confusing aspect to that is that these 3 people get first dibs at
this number 6 spot.
At the number 6 spot when we don't know everybody that's in the match. So
kudos to screwing up my head again. And we go on to Asuka and Bayley. Not as good as Sasha and Asuka.
No,
obviously. But it was fine.
Less botches.
What happened?
Less botches.
Yeah. Less face hitting LED board. Yeah. Other than it was pretty. It was. It was pretty damn good.
Oh,
the finish was great. I enjoyed the finish very much. With the counter, I believe it was from the Bayley to belly into the Asuka lock, or was it the armbar? I forget.
The armbar.
The armbar.
Yep.
I liked that a lot. The work on the outside of the ring was great. And it just kept getting. It was like I said, it wasn't the Sasha Banks match that Asuka had, but it worked, and I mean we knew who was going over. And this is like I said, it's gonna build to like you said actually. We're building to Sasha Banks and Bayley eventually. Hopefully at WrestleMania, because we got a long show nowadays. So
long show.
So there's plenty of time to give these ladies, especially if you're not gonna treat them correctly and give these 2 women the title match. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yep. After this, we got an Elimination Chamber qualifying match between The Miz and Apollo Crews. And we spoiled it who won before because Apollo Crews is in the second chance match. So The Miz won. Great work out of Apollo Crews. They need to give Crews a chance. I put on Twitter, twitter.com/DoubleTurnRadio, last I was a 0, that you need to give Crews a chance and that they are doing well with each other. Him and Titus O'Neil. But Apollo Crews specifically, if he lost all that titty weight that he had, he'd probably be able to go on to 205 Live. But unfortunately, he's about a good 48 pounds over than what he needs to be. We get a lot of back and forth between the both of them. Crews gets in a lot of offense towards the end. Miz took advantage of the referee, the referee was trying to stop, I think, a rope break or something like that. And then, Miz distracted the referee. The Miz Taraj distracted the referee, and Miz took out Crews' knee. But then Miz ends up bouncing off the injured knee because Apollo Crews went to the top rope for a move, and then Miz nails the skull-crushing finale for the win and the chamber spot. Yeah. I explained that so confusing. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. You know what it is like I didn't see this match. I think I walked out at that point. Not because I didn't want to see it, but just to do something. So I didn't see this match. So
Mr. Raj got into Mr. Raj interfered a lot.
Right. It was a dirty finish.
Dirty is about as clean of a dirty finish that you can get.
Right.
You know, there was an eventual Mr. Raj distraction which caused Apollo Crews to get hurt, so to speak. Yeah. So yeah, that's about as dirty as clean of a dirty move as you can get. But he won't be. You know, he's gonna have a match next week against Finn Balor, Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, and himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
After this, we got Seth Rollins.
Iowa's own.
Yes, Iowa's own. Des Moines, Iowa's
own. Butt fuck nowhere's own.
Yeah. Walking, I guess, wanted out towards the gorilla. And then Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan are backstage, walking up towards him, and Jordan is rubbing his neck. Jordan says that he can't compete tonight. He got hurt while he was warming up, and then he went to the trainers to get it checked out, and they told him that he can't compete. Angle doubles down and says that Jordan was telling the truth, and then Rollins, is in disbelief, and he's like, what should I do? Our match is next. Roman Reigns comes out, and he just shakes his head, and that's literally what it is. There's no verbal confirmation, nothing is said. Roman Reigns just walks up and just shakes his head yes, and Kurt Angle just shakes his head yes.
Yep.
And that's it. So now we got Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus The Bar for the Tag Team Championships. And Roman Reigns pulling great matches on double duty.
Yeah, I was about to say, just... Guy, look, for all the flack we give him, like I said, it's not him, it's the way he's booked. But, when he does impressive things, we acknowledge it.
He's way more comfortable in the ring now.
Yeah. He's pulling double duty. He's pulling out good matches on double duty. So
I wonder if something clicked, like when Batista found out during that match with who was it? Was it that match with The Undertaker? I think it was the match with The Undertaker about ring psychology. When he came out and he goes, that was when I learned about ring psychology. Mm-hmm. I wonder if he's learning that too. I wonder if he learned that.
He probably did.
I wonder if something clicked in his head like it did to Batista. But you got a lot of back and forth between the both of them. Seth Rollins did a lot of work. Roman Reigns did his thing as well. At one point, did you think that Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins were gonna win the tag team titles? Yeah. But they did make the Bar look really, really well. Who knows?
And then we just
where the Bar goes after this. But then Jason Jordan comes out towards the end, and this is where it starts getting a little screwed up. But it's setting up towards the long run. Not really, because of what we found out after the day after this match. So we're just going to go ahead and say the match, and then we're going to say what we found out after. Okay, so we got Jason Jordan coming out. He is trying to cheer on Seth Rollins towards the end of the match. Reigns didn't like that, and Reigns told Jordan to go to the back and saying that they've got this. They argue for a little bit, and then at some point, Seth Rollins and Cesaro, after a hot tag by Reigns, they roll out of the ring and they walk out with the titles. Jordan stops him right before they get to the ramp, and then Cesaro went to go punch Jason Jordan. Jordan blocked it and then hit Cesaro and then hit Sheamus, which the referee called for the bell, which causes disqualification. In The Bar, you new tag team,
still tag team.
I'm still your tag team champions. I'm sorry. So
heavy you suck chance to Jason Jordan.
Heavy you suck chance. This was wow. If it wasn't like. This would be great direction if it wasn't for what happened after everything. After Raw, we find out that Jason Jordan's going to get neck surgery. So he's going to be out of WrestleMania.
Which leaves Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at this point, as far as we know, because, well, not true because Roman Reigns is going to win the Chamber, but
this leaves Seth Rollins with nothing to do.
and we're speculating. We'll get to that, I guess, towards the end. We want to talk about that now?
No, we'll talk about it now because there's no other segment where we're gonna get to that.
Yeah. So speculation is that now that Jordan's out, because the original plan obviously must have been Jordan versus Rollins at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Since Jordan's gonna be out, he's gonna miss WrestleMania due to neck surgery. Certainly sounds like we're gonna get Kurt Angle versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah, so great. So Seth Rollins could, go and injure
another legend. He's gonna buckle bomb Kurt Angle's already broken neck. Anyways, but yeah. So we'll see where it goes. I want to see where it builds. And we shall see.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just gonna blame Kurt Angle for doing all this stuff.
Well, I think it's gonna be more. I think Seth Rollins is gonna probably play more of the heel in this. I'll be honest.
I know,
with you.
which is kind of upsetting because it kind of screws everything up.
Right.
Yeah. So after this, we get a Twitter video from Braun Strowman. He talks about how he destroyed Kane last week and that he was the last man standing last week. He's going to be the last man standing tonight. And then he's going to be the last man standing at Elimination Chamber where he goes on to face Brock Lesnar at 34. So we get some hype for the Mixed Match Challenge. Seth Rollins is arguing with Jason Jordan backstage. Kurt Angle gets in between them. And then Rollins says that the only thing he's not sorry for is for legitimately hurting Jordan when he had the chance. Rollins then calls Jordan a selfish son of a bitch and walks off. Kurt Angle then yells at Jordan to go home until he's medically cleared. Jordan tries to argue the fact, but Angle insisted, and then that was it. That was the end of that.
Yeah. We get Nia Jax versus a 16-year-old. Dude, all right, she's 18. I'm sorry. Nia Jax.
This is why we need video podcasts, so you can just see my reaction right now to you. I can't believe
Nia Jax squashed this poor girl.
Literally and figuratively.
Literally, figuratively. I thought
Grim would have been proud.
Grim would have been proud. Probably would have called this a Snorlax on a Pikachu. I mean...
Oh, God. Keep going. Keep going.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh,
I mean, how many more jokes do you want me to make? It's ridiculous. Nia Jax devoured this poor girl. In convincing fashion.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Listen, we respect the hell out of Nia Jax.
Oh yeah.
We're not making fun of you.
We're making fun of Grim.
We're making fun of Grim for what he is so outrageous in saying, and then trying to promote money off of it.
Nia Jax won a very
convincing
fashion match against this poor. I'm not even out of high school yet, girl.
Snorlax on a Pikachu.
And Renee Young gets in the ring.
Yeah, bad idea.
Bad idea because she's got the body of a 12-year-old too, so she might as well get thrown around too.
I'm so mad to see Renee Young's body, but that's besides the fact.
Oh man. And we get comments on from Nia Jax that for her, because if she beats Asuka, she's gonna be added to the WrestleMania 34 title match, and she's gonna mess Asuka's pretty face up.
Where she's gonna have to wear her mask that Asuka wears permanently. Then Nia Jax says that Asuka won't be the Empress of tomorrow. After she's done with her, she's going to be the Empress of yesterday. Wow, what a classic.
What a classic segment. We'll go down in history.
What a classic line.
Oh, God. Immediately following that, we have... I mean, it could have been... No, it can't.
It could have been worse. It could have been worse. Sonya Deville is getting better. It seems like she's actually listening to whoever's telling her what to do. Thank you, Goldust, for making Sonya a halfway decent wrestler. I don't know what's going on with Mandy Rose, but we need to work on that.
Mandy Rose is just hot. That's it. That's just the way it works. And
Mandy Rose looked like what Trish Stratus used to look like. Because what Trish Stratus looks like now is far from what she used to look like before. She's still hot.
Oh, yeah.
But far from what she used to look like before.
Yeah. Anyways... We get Mickie James versus Sonya Deville in
a match.
In a match. That's the only way to describe it. Just a match.
Sonya Deville won in a convincing fashion.
Sonya Deville did not win.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mickie
James won, but Mickie James beat her with a roll up because Sonya Deville was beating the crap out of her for the entire match. See, okay, I don't like. Whenever there's something going on, like whenever there's a women's match and there's like managers, I guess, like people on the outside, all I hear is screaming.
Oh, well, I mean, it could be worse. You could have Melina cheering on Johnny Nitro from the outside of the ring.
That's all I hear is screaming.
Yeah, it is pretty annoying. But anyways, Paige barks orders for Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville to attack Mickie James, and the Raw Women's Champion runs in and pulls Mickie James out of the ring, and no one can figure out why.
Yeah, I know why. She's trying to get friends.
Friends for the Chamber, yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to get friends for the Chamber.
I didn't even think of that. I don't know why.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I used total clickbait and said face turn for Mickie James, but face turn for Alexa Bliss. Yeah, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
She's just trying to get friends for the Chamber.
Yeah. Clickbait.
Yeah. After this, we get announced that the Second Chance Fatal 4-Way is for next week. I'm not going to talk about that anymore because we already said it twice. Elias is out in the ring with a guitar. Here's with his latest song. Man, I can't remember what song it was, but it was good. I can't remember.
We said it on Dinger for 3. This guy's probably never played a guitar in his life, and Vince McMahon was like, "Learn the guitar," and he was like, "Okay."
No, I think the opposite. I think that he's actually a really good guitar player that faked that he was bad all along. That's what I think. So he sings a song and he takes shots at Braun Strowman, John Cena, and Brock Lesnar. He's interrupted as, of course, John Cena comes out to the ring, and we get your main event of the evening, the triple threat between John Cena, Elias, and Braun Strowman, and oh my god, Elias won. Oh my god, Elias has the last. Oh my god, Elias has the last spot in the Elimination Chamber. He comes out last in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. Elias is my favorite on Raw right now, without a doubt.
What craziness goes on?
I don't know. But Intercontinental Champion by the end of the year.
Braun Strowman dominated at points during this match. Then a lot of the time you get Braun Strowman out of the ring, and you had Cena and Elias work with each other to get Braun Strowman out. There was a spot where Braun Strowman, Elias, and John Cena were on the outside. The chairs were pushed away from a move earlier in the match. Elias hit Braun Strowman with the guitar, and then John Cena got Braun Strowman up for the AA onto the ring steps. Cena goes towards the end of the match, calls for the... You can watch me yawn when we get a video podcast for a WrestleMania podcast. Cena calls for the five-knuckle shuffle on Elias. Braun runs in, scoops Cena for a power slam. Elias blocked the power slam. Didn't work. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Elias blocked the power slam, then kicked Braun Strowman out of the ring. Elias then steals the pin on Cena and gets the win to get the... He comes out last.
Yeah, again, we still don't know everybody that's in the match, but regardless, Elias is coming out last. And it was so awesome. It was so awesome.
It was great to see a shock ending like that. That was more what it was.
Because I was actually there. I thought friggin' Elias was solely there to take the pin from Braun Strowman, and I was wrong, and I'm so glad I was wrong because this is awesome. Elias is awesome. I want all of his merchandise. Now, I said this to a friend, and I'm going to put it out there now. If Elias wins the Elimination Chamber, I will buy every single piece of Elias merchandise that is on WWEshop.com. Every single piece.
Sounds fair.
Including the replica guitar.
There's a replica
that they don't have yet, but I guarantee you it'll be out by the time he wins the Chamber.
There's a replica guitar?
Yeah, no, not yet. But they'll probably be selling it. Anyways, yeah. And Braun isn't done though.
Oh, Braun, no. I don't know what's going on, but for some reason they've got this thing where they've got like maybe 5 more minutes of airtime, and they don't know how to fill it because this was the second time that we saw this happen where you get extra time and they kind of don't know what to do. Braun Strowman was acting like a face at some point. He power slammed he power slammed Elias after the pin happened. Then he power slammed Cena, and then he power slammed Elias. Then they said one more time. Then he power slammed Cena. Then he goes up and he climbs up to the top rope and he starts asking for fans to cheer for him. And then they go ahead and he goes ahead and again slams both of them. So they got about, I want to say, 3 more power slams apiece between the both of them. And then that was how Raw went off the air, was Braun Strowman standing on top of the 2 competitors for, to end Raw. So that was Raw. Yeah. It was all right.
I enjoyed Raw this week. It was
pretty good.
I enjoyed Raw this week.
There's some things that they need to work on. Definitely some things that they need to work on.
But did they do it better than SmackDown live from Kansas City this week?
100%.
Of course they did, because guess what? SmackDown. I don't think SmackDown's beaten Raw in a very long time.
Oh yeah, it's scary how big of a gap there is between the 2 shows, and it's upsetting because you don't want it to be that way, but it is. So yeah, SmackDown Live is from Kansas City, Missouri, another state in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
Anyways,
you want to talk about the opening, sir?
I can only talk about what I saw because I didn't get to hear it because I was in the middle of class trying to live tweet, and my teacher was like, my teacher was like, "Everybody, close your laptops. We're gonna watch a movie now." And I'm just like, I kind of want to watch SmackDown, but okay. But from what I saw and what I can only assume, Shane McMahon and
no, I'll get to it. I got you. Don't worry, bud.
No, I can talk.
Get to the point. You sure?
I'll try to do my best.
Okay.
Shane McMahon's out, and he introduces Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan comes out to, as per usually, a pop from what you can consider a pop from Kansas City, Missouri. And they talk about how they use the term again that SmackDown is the land of opportunity, and that Daniel Bryan has created this land of opportunity with this top 10. Whoa, we're not there yet. Sorry. We'll get to that in just a few moments.
Oh.
And they're talking about the main event. The main event is Owens and Zayn. This is major title implications because the winner of that match goes on to face AJ Styles at Fastlane for the WWE Championship. And they go back and forth.
Shane was
just
saying,
a sexy Shane.
Shane was saying that he doesn't understand why Daniel Bryan keeps giving Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens title shots. Shane, plays up the Yep movement, which is an imitation of the Yes movement that Bryan created. Shane was saying that Daniel Bryan, because he can't be in the ring anymore, envies the careers of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So he was saying that maybe that's the reason why he keeps giving them opportunity after opportunity. That at this point, fans booed him. Fans booed Shane for this. And then AJ Styles came out. AJ Styles came out, grabbed the mic, and he says, I got this. I understand the grind. I gotta come out every week. I have to put miles on my body. I gotta fly miles. I have to drive miles. Whatever it is. He goes, I'm not going to sit there. He goes, what he can't stand is managers having an obsession over Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. He says that tonight he's going to make sure that at Fastlane it's all done. It's all over with. So after this, we get the New Day backstage with a shitload of pancakes. They're interacting with fans on Twitter all night. Quick thing about that, great comments between the both of them on the Corey Graves versus Booker T thing. There was one where we're gonna get to that in a little bit, where they make a comment on their number 6 spot in the top 10 list, and he said that that's the percent chance that he gives Corey Graves in the street fight. Also, there was a Twitter comment about whether Graves's left hook or jab is better, and Kofi Kingston said, well, I guess we're gonna find out one way or another. So yeah, that was great. After this, we get a mixed match challenge stuff. AJ Styles walks backstage and he sees Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura just says, I'm going to defeat you at WrestleMania 34.
See, this could be like
that was it. Yeah. That was literally it. we didn't get Shinsuke for the rest of the show.
Nice.
How? The person who won the 2018 Royal Rumble, who's going to face AJ Styles, got one segment and it was 2 seconds long. Yeah. After this, we got Liv Morgan and Charlotte Flair. Boy, did you see that match?
Parts of it.
Don't even... Boy. Heels. Faces. Don't watch this match. Charlotte Flair won. Next.
Oh my god.
It was terrible.
I don't even
The gap between Charlotte
and
Liv Morgan is about as long as the prison walls that I work in.
All right. On that note, we're gonna go off that rape-based joke. No, not at all. But
God,
anyway,
we're gonna get taken off of iTunes because you.
What the fuck? Anyway, don't make me pull a Paul Heyman right now.
All right.
Anyways, next
we have
next
we've got Renee Young approaching Kevin Owens backstage. You've got the notes in front of you.
Next.
I
mean we could skip to the.
We gotta get through that part. He asked if the friendship between Sami Zayn and him can survive tonight, and Kevin Owens says that it all depends on Sami if he can handle losing to Owens tonight.
They're basically continuing to plant the seeds.
We get a little bit of verbal stuff between the both of them.
We get little verbal sparring between the two. It's obviously we're still pushing for or they're making it obvious that this union isn't going to last through the next few months, obviously. But regardless, the reason I was saying next was because I overlooked that bullet. Next, the Bludgeon Brothers versus Enhancement Talent. Next.
Listen, just stop giving these people jobbers to wrestle. Give them something, please, for the love of Christ. If you want to make them look good, you have to give them something to do. It's so bad. I can't take somebody seriously if all they keep doing is fighting people that I don't care about.
See, I think I said it last week. Maybe it was to you or maybe it was to someone else. I might have said it on the podcast. But the reason it worked so well for Ryback was because Ryback squashed one person, then he would squash 2 people, then he would squash 3 people, and then by soon enough, the guy was facing CM Punk. I mean, and they threw him right into a championship segment with CM Punk. I mean, I can only watch guys get squashed for so long. The reason it worked so long for Strowman was because Strowman was separated. For guys like Ryback and Strowman, Ryback we've already established. It was cool to see a guy throw 3 other men around at the same time. Braun Strowman had just broken away from the Wyatt family. We didn't know what he was capable of on his own. They wanted to make him look strong, and they did. But they didn't keep the enhancement talent going the whole time. Strowman would go and wrestle other people too. All right? The Bludgeon Brothers have wrestled nothing but scrubs since coming back. And that includes, unfortunately, in that statement, I have to include Fandango and Tyler Breeze, who aren't scrubs, but are booked to be that way. The Ascension, I think they wrestled the Ascension too, if I'm not mistaken.
Who, the Bludgeon Brothers? Yes, they did.
So, I mean, and they're already a joke. They've been a joke since they came up, unfortunately, because I actually thought they were cool. But the Usos hit the ring a few minutes after that match. While they're making their way out of the ring, they walk past the Bludgeon Brothers, and Harper is holding Rowan back. Not that anything was going to happen anyways. We go into
the Usos cut a promo. Your usual promo.
Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary.
Yeah, they're talking about how, they were rhyming. They were saying that nobody used to take, back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. In the infamous words of Mike Jones, pretty much is what this promo was all about. Back then they didn't want to see them as champs, now everybody wants to see them wrestle. Blah, 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 blah. Good promo out of them. It wasn't anything crazy, but they continue to cut good promos. We go backstage, and then Daniel Bryan reveals the SmackDown Live Top 10 list, which Bryan and SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon are going to use to make decisions and plan matches. Bryan said that the list was compiled by the roster and that they cannot vote for themselves. He also said that him and Shane had no input whatsoever. This is based off of your athletic ability, your locker room leadership, and your overall star power, I think was what it was. I don't remember.
It makes me want to puke. Anyways, let's just talk about it. So they did not they had no input. Then let's start with it. So number 10. This isn't a gimmick at all. Conveniently is the perfect 10, Ty Dillinger,
who hasn't won a match in a while.
In a long
Did
time.
he win the match against Baron Corbin?
No.
The last
No.
Exactly. Speaking of Baron Corbin, not on this list.
Not on the list.
Guess we're gonna get on this list. Dolph Ziggler.
We'll get to that
in a minute.
Yeah. Number 9's Randy Orton,
who hasn't wrestled a match since the tag team matches.
He RKO'd Bobby Roode.
Wait, we didn't get to that.
But that's what I'm talking about. This doesn't make sense.
I think the only time that it did make sense was Randy Orton coming out and proving that he shouldn't be number 9 by RKOing everybody. And that's the only time that counted. Okay, so number 10, you conveniently had Ty Dillinger. Number 9, you got Randy Orton. Number 8, you got Becky Lynch. All right, maybe. Number 7, you had the SmackDown Tag Team Champions who just cut a good promo as number 7. They are the longest SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I mean, in consecutive days, not
in compiled days.
Yeah, compiled days. They're the longest reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions in compiled days. Number 6, above them, who haven't had a match on SmackDown Live in a while. I want to say in almost a month, they haven't had a match on SmackDown Live.
Singly, some of them have, but that doesn't count.
Some of them have. But as a trio or as a tag team, they have not had a match together in almost a month. I can't really put a number on that. But number 6, above the tag team champions, the Usos, who don't really defend that much, who defend mainly on pay-per-views and don't really have matches on SmackDown. But you don't put the SmackDown tag team champions underneath those guys. Yeah. Number 5, you got Bobby Roode, who this was about the only one where it made sense. That was about middle of the line. He's doing good. He won the U.S. Championship. Great for him.
Yep.
Naomi was number 4. When was the last time you seen a good Naomi match? Not a long time. Yeah. You had Shinsuke Nakamura at number 3. Okay, granted he hasn't had a SmackDown match since winning the Royal Rumble.
Besides the tag match with AJ.
The tag match with AJ Styles, and that was it. But then you had the women's champion Charlotte.
Yeah, you could have picked these last two. I could have picked these last two.
Yeah, and you had the WWE champion AJ Styles. Okay, those were good spots.
Yeah,
Bobby Roode was a good spot. Shinsuke Nakamura was a decent spot.
Everyone else in this doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense because you got Baron Corbin, who was on a tear during the Royal Rumble and beat Ty Dillinger. Baron Corbin's not even on the list.
But Ty Dillinger is.
Who lost that match.
At number 10.
Exactly.
Regardless, it doesn't make sense. I said
but
it
also,
last week.
the wrestlers, quote unquote, are the people who pick this. Yeah. Not the fans.
Right. But I'm just saying, who's going around picking Ty Dillinger over guys that, I mean, if that was the case, AJ Styles is going to be number 1 the whole time.
You know what? You know what I want to see? You know what I want to see? Make this a monthly thing and make this a wrestlers roundtable where they argue who should be as that point right there.
See, that would make sense to me.
Not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It's a good idea.
Kill kayfabe left and right.
Yeah. And then we get a Twitter video we get another segment from the New Day.
This is the one
where they 6th place ranking.
Yeah, 6% that Corey Graves wins that street fight.
Then we get a Twitter video from Rusev Day, aka Aiden English, and Rusev. They promote the United States title match, which is up next, and we get that match. Actually, not a bad match. Not a bad match at all. Bobby Roode won with the glorious DDT. Rusev all-knowingly wasn't going to win that match, but did a great job. He is, white hot with the fans right now. Yeah. It's kind of incredible how much the fans like him and how they're not going to give him the title. Yep. Because they're not going to give him the title until after. Rude starts celebrating, and then he gets hit with an RKO from Randy Orton. Yeah, out of nowhere. Randy Orton hits the ring and drives it. So is that a heel turn? Is that just a fuck you? Is it just a fuck you for thanks for putting me at number 9. What was it? Number 9? Yeah, number 9. Thanks for putting me at number 9. Fuck your number 5 guy. So I think that we're gonna get an eventual Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode for the U.S. title feud, which is good because it'll put Bobby Roode over. Absolutely. Well, Randy Orton is one of those guys that you got to get a good match out of, especially if for a guy like Bobby Roode who's coming up, or Orton's one of those guys that will put on a phenomenal match with just about anybody.
Yep,
So
this is definitely going to be an enhancement match. This isn't going to be anything too crazy. You'll probably see Bobby Roode win that feud out of them. Yeah, I would like to see Bobby Roode be a little bit more serious, and hopefully Randy Orton is the person to do that to him. After this, you got Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable backstage, who take shots at the other tag teams in the division. So they're saying that they're going to try and bring prestige back to the tag team division, but he can't believe that clowns like the Ascension and Breezango are with them. So he said that last week we targeted and took out Breezango. Now it's the Ascension. So yeah, they had a match between each other, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, aka American Alpha 2.0, versus the Ascension. Yeah, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable won in a pretty okay tag team match. You know the outcome of what this was going to be. Match-wise, everything was predictable. Nothing was going to be too crazy out of that, except for the main event. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable won off of the double team that they do in the corner for the pin. After this, Renee Young approaches Sami Zayn for comments on tonight's main event. He talks about how Owens held titles and he hasn't yet. And he said that even though they're best friends, he knows that Owens is going to stop at nothing to get to WrestleMania, but neither will Sami. So, the main event of the evening is the number one contenders match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It was a great match. You got a lot of back and forth between them. They were working their style. These guys have had so many matches between each other in Ring of Honor and other promotions that you know you're going to get a top quality match out of them. AJ Styles came out at some point to come and watch the match, and then he interfered. AJ came out, and then Sami Zayn was talking trash to AJ while he was going out. AJ was telling Sami to finish the match, but Sami kept talking he kept yelling at AJ Styles in his face. And then he hit Sami Zayn, and that caused the no contest. So they both started beating up on AJ Styles. Daniel Bryan comes out and announces that it's not going to be a triple threat at Fastlane due to the match that just happened with the interference. AJ's not happy that this is happening. But to be honest with you, this is AJ's fault.
He caused it. But
you know what? You could have had one guy.
Yeah, you could have had one guy. You ended up getting them both getting one disqualified and costing the other the match. But you know what? What is not AJ's fault? Our big match for next week, just announced, I think either yesterday or today, for Smackdown Live next week. This will determine the fourth guy that's going to be in that match at Fastlane. Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler will face off next week. Guess what? Neither of them, we were saying this before, neither of them are on that top 10.
Neither of them are on the top 10 list. Neither of them have done anything of value lately. So we're going to get a definite fatal four-way for the we're going to get a definite fatal four-way for the match. It's going to be a definite fatal four-way for Fastlane. And it's so stupid. Because it's just, why? Why is this even necessary? You could have just gave us a one-on-one match with somebody betraying the other, and then we would have seen, we would have seen something. We would have seen what we wanted: Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. But now it's just getting more convoluted. AJ Styles is getting upset because of a match that he caused. It's just so annoying.
SmackDown's booking is trash.
Who's doing it?
I don't know.
Can we let Triple H control SmackDown?
Please.
Please?
Oh, God. I don't know what to do anymore. This is absolutely... SmackDown is going down the shitter real quick. I don't know how to fix it. Other than, get the general managers off TV. Let the fucking wrestlers wrestle. Cut talking time down, because I feel like that's another thing that hinders them a little bit.
A lot of promos.
There's a lot of promos on SmackDown. And that's like
a lot of meaningless promos.
Like if I was able to watch a match on SmackDown while I was in class, I would have live tweeted it. The thing is, a lot of what I caught in class was talking, so I couldn't. And obviously, I'm not gonna fucking play it out loud in class, but like I can't, it's stupid. That's how much talking is on SmackDown. If the only thing that I caught was talking. Regardless, that was this week in wrestling. Just brief mentions of 205 Live. 205 Live had 2 good matches this week. Between
Lindsay Dorado and Kalisto, and you had
Roderick Strong and
Hideo
Itami. Great matches out of 205 Live, with a quick segment in the middle where Drake Maverick, aka Rockstar Spud, told Tony Nese and Drew Gulak they will be wrestling next week in the first round.
Yeah,
tournament.
he pretty much strips them of their gimmicks.
Yeah, he tells them straight up, listen, Gulak was a hardcore grappler in the division, and now he's out there with PowerPoints and picket signs, and Tony Nese is so obsessed with his abs that,
he can't wrestle a good match anymore.
Yeah.
So he's stripping them of their gimmicks, which is a great way to literally strip them of their gimmicks and not see that anymore. So I think this is going to be a good match between the both of them, because we've seen Tony Nese in action in person, and we know that he's a good wrestler. I've never seen Drew Gulak, but I know that he was one of the shining stars in the old WWE 205 Live. I don't call this. That was WWE 205 Live. This is actually 205 Live now.
Yeah, this is 205 Live.
We are still going to do the WWE ECW reviews.
Ooh, yeah. Eventually we're going to get down to that. That's going to be one hell of a time. When we start watching ECW, WWE, or WWE ECW, and we're gonna review a little bit of that. We got a whole lot of plans. A few things that we're looking to review for Nostalgia Act as a whole. We're looking to do WWE ECW. We've got, you guys got to go online and vote. We need to know, do you guys want us to review WrestleMania 4 or WrestleMania 14? We're looking at some point, I think we mentioned this a while ago before we went on hiatus, but it's something that we should definitely do, a Nostalgia Act on the Summer of Punk as a whole.
Yes.
Things that we got a lot that we want to do, and WrestleMania season is here. There's a lot of wrestling going on, not to mention New Japan. The landscape of New Japan has shaken up, so trying to catch all of that is difficult as well. But regardless, that was this week for Smack Me Raw. As we said before, about to go and head out soon to go to the Frankie Getz Joseph Pizarro Memorial Show over at Fun Station.
Definitely go and listen to this before you go out to that match, if you're going to that match, or listen to this before you go out tomorrow, February 10th at 1839 Bath Avenue, St. Finbar's Catholic Church. You got Women of Warriors 4, and you also got Cold Fury, ladies and gentlemen. The Prince is here. Jimmy Jacobs, he's going to be facing Darius Carter. You got Juby, you got the Twisted Sisters, you got Logan Black, you got Jose Salvador. You got everybody that you should be having at a normal Warrior show. Definitely come out. $20, $25 for front row. Check it out. Doubleheader. Also, shout out to Russell Rated R. Tyson. The beginning and the end of every podcast, you go and you play a theme song. This week, it's going to be The King's Court. So definitely go check that out. Russell Rated R. Tyson on Facebook, Rated R on Twitter, Unicorn Papa. And Audio Mac as well. His album The Goat is out. He's coming out with a new album. His Flair Flow Fridays are on YouTube as well and on his Facebook, so definitely go and check that out. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for all the new likes that we got. Thank you for all the listeners that are going and listening to us today. My name is Xavier Heat, wrestling's favorite hothead, and next to me is my beautiful and lovely co-host,
the man with no gimmick, the James Conti. This has been Double Turn Radio with Smack Me Raw. Thank you.
Fuck you. Bye.
I want to welcome everyone to a very, very special segment of the King's Court. We're going to treat this segment with the proper reverence and respect that it deserves.
Yo, all hail, I'm hoping the skills carry me past the goal line. I'm tossing this Hail Mary, got engaged to lettuce, so as soon as the mail married me, I was groomed to deliver the real and kill parodies. Body old beats, A-track at the anatomy, assault and battery, cause I ain't rapping for the flattery. What you hear happening is what it's supposed to sound like. Off with they heads, they wasn't wearing the crown right. Lay it down profound whenever I get around mics. Went from being hungry to eating off of the sound bites. Bro, I had mojo. Way before I found hype, I was letting flows go. Double R Ocho, the artist formerly known as Rated, the former dated. Took the AT out my name, cause if I'm on it, then I ate it. No matter how you spell it, word is born about to make it by doing my own thing. Not conforming to the basic, and it started as a hunch. Now it's jumping for the kid. Got tired of the hunger, it was nothing in the fridge. Now the balls come in bunches, and I'm functioning to live like a young Jerry Lawler. Best punches in the biz, yo. All hail, you entered the king's courtyard. Built off of limited support, but I fought hard. Went from being mortal to a thought guard. The moral of the story is you can't predict the future off report cards. Trying to point out my intelligence less. Maybe if I started telling them less, they'd acknowledge it. Higher education achieved without their colleges. Made myself a scholar, but I never chased a scholarship. Paved my own path, won't recommend you follow it. Decided I was never compromising, just a dollar grip. On the rise, taking off, Andre Iguodala quick. Steady dropping hits without the politics.
I certainly don't have to go out and sweat the royal perspiration to prove that I'm a king. I was born a king. Royal blood flows through these veins. That's
Yo,
what makes me
it's the greenest
the
of
king.
old kings. They hoping for the days that I might slip. Far rock born and raised up on the ice lift the rank. Transforming phrases what I'm nice with. Frame all, call him James Todd. I'm a Mike Smith. The mic on my arm and arm I swing sharper. To get around tables and turn into King Arthur. Sending these green arrows like an archer. Hawkeye accurate, a bullseye marker. Yeah, and I'm steady supplying listeners. So anybody rapping about wrestling to me, I see him as Brian Christopher's. It's no denying I'm at the top of the list and I ain't slipping up. Think of the genre, you better picture us. Hungry but a snicker, not enough. I'm trying to get the bucks. Making the game over, it's ready for a nip and tuck. All hail, you leaving the king's court. No feeling, I'm living and breathing supreme thoughts, man.